drop the camera.
To be honest, we're kind of ready to leave Granada. We've kind of seen what there is to see. We're ready to move on. We've been here 1 week. Our plan is actually pretty unstructured. We're just going to go to Masaya for lunch. There's a Folkloric Museum, and just kind of to get a vibe of the city. This is our last full day in Granada before we go to Ometepe Island tomorrow.
Bienvenidos a Masaya.
We actually grabbed the wrong bus from Granada to Masaya, right? You can grab the chicken bus, like the big, huge bus, but it won't take you to the middle of Masaya. It won't take you to the town square where we are now. It's going to take you to the Mercardo Central, the market, which is a little bit further out. So we actually had to grab a taxi. We've learned our lesson, so on the way back, we're actually going to grab the micro bus.
Found this restaurant for us. I believe it's kind of a buffet style, casual Nicaraguan eatery, right?
It's called Comidas Criollas, which means like Creole food. Hi, beautiful.
Lunch is served.
Guys, seriously. So this is like wonderful comedor food, but it's so complete. I got a huge thing of fried fish with like some nice tomato-y sauce on top of it. Got some fried cheese of some sort, gallo pinto, which is the rice and beans. Some beautiful sliced steamed veggies and a huge, giant plátano maduro.
Looks delicious, and they have plenty of vegetarian options for me. So I got a similar plate to Gabe's, but instead of the fish, I got a big spoonful of potato salad. Looks delicious. The town or city of Masaya in Nicaragua is the cradle of Nicaraguan folklore, and it is also the heart of Nicaraguan handicrafts. So today we are going into this central market that's supposed to be filled with a bunch of Nicaraguan crafts, and inside it is also the Folkloric Museum. We came here to come to the Folkloric Museum, but unfortunately it is closed. I think it's only closed for the time being. I think they're renovating it and fixing it up, so hopefully if you come to Masaya it will be open by then, but for us it is closed.
So we have left the closed museo that we showed you. We're now going to what's called the Malecon, which is the lakefront. It's supposed to be a walkway with restaurants and stuff.
So we are at the Malecon, the public park here in Masaya, and we took a taxi to get over here because it was a bit further away from where we were at the Folkloric Museum. And we asked the taxi driver, why is there an old rundown plane just sitting in the middle of the park? And he has no idea. After the disappointment of the Folkloric Museum being closed, we had to cheer ourselves up somehow, and this is what we found. We are at Shalivet's house. It used to be called Batidos Wonders, for all the wonderful batidos that they have. They have dessert ones and fruit ones and crazy giant fruit salad things that'll fill you up for the whole day. And they have some food too.
Word of advice, don't wait for the last bus. A little hot?
The very last minute, we just got on the bus. Our taxi just dropped us off, and thank goodness we found a taxi in time, or I don't think we would have made it.
Where are we going though?
We are going to Ometepe Island. This bus takes us to Rivas, which is a city near the port. So from Rivas, then we have to catch another taxi over to the port of San Jorge, and then that's where we catch a big ferry to take us over to the island.
They charged us 100 Cordobas each. It's supposed to be 50, but we were charged 50 more for each of our bags. Prices are certainly flexible here in Nicaragua. So we've made it to Rivas, and from Rivas we grabbed a taxi, a very crowded taxi, and now we've made it to the San Jorge port. You have to pay $1 to get it to the port, and then your ticket to get on the ferry to Ometepe Island should cost you 50 Cordobas. Make sure you look up the schedule though. They don't leave just every 30 minutes or whatever. I want you guys to compare Meg's bag situation to my bag situation. Look at this, look at this. How am I supposed to...
This is why I keep him. But come on, our size comparison game.
People are literally laughing at me, you know that? People are always commenting on what I'm carrying.
It's around 2:30 now. The boat has just taken off.
Can hear how powerful the wind is right now, but it's like blowing wind right now. It is serious wind right now. I'm like afraid my glasses are gonna fly off. We can start seeing Ometepe and the huge volcanoes on it. We're quickly approaching. I'm looking forward to getting there, but the boat ride has actually been... Good afternoon, along we go. We are on Ometepe Island in the biggest lake in Central America, Lake Nicaragua. Behind me you can see the enormous active Volcan Concepción. The other volcano, which you cannot see right now, is Volcan Maderas, which is dormant. But this gigantic volcanic island here in Nicaragua has so much to offer. We're talking waterfalls, we're talking hiking. Today, Megan and I are going to go to a place called Jesús María. We're going to go see like a nice sandbar that shoots out into Lake Nicaragua. We hear that there are restaurants over there, that it's a nice place to chill in the afternoon, especially to see the sunset. We're going to see if we can catch a tuk-tuk for 100 Cordobas or less to get out there from the city, from the town of Moyogalpa.
We have just arrived at Punta Jesús María. We took a tuk-tuk over here, and we asked him to give us like 3 hours to hang out and chill on the water, and then he's going to come back and pick us up, because there's not a lot of tuk-tuks, or I don't think the buses come down here either, so it's good to set up your pickup time.
Did we mention that this lake is huge? Take a look. And over there is the towering Volcan Concepción. The Punta Jesús María is a stretch of black volcanic sand that pushes into Lake Nicaragua. You can see the mainland like all around us, and then behind us you can see the Concepción volcano and the rest of the island. It's pretty cool.
So the length of the sandbar actually varies depending on whether you're visiting Ometepe during the wet season or the dry season. I believe we arrived in Nicaragua when the dry season was just starting, so the sandbar is a good length. You can really get pretty far out into the lake walking along the sandbar, but I have also read that if you come during the rainy season, there might also be no sandbar in existence. So definitely look at the weather when you're coming to visit Ometepe. I don't think it's a good sign that this sign saying that there's dangerous waters and you shouldn't go swimming has been knocked down and covered with sand.
We've reached the edge of the island.
Woohoo!
End of the road. Where the island ends.
Bird marks the spot.
About 1 year ago, Nicaragua was having some serious political crises with like clashes happening between protesters and the police, and the government had a huge crackdown here, and it was ugly. And it's really affected the tourism industry. I gotta say, you can feel it. This place feels pretty empty. Many of the places we've been that should be full of tourists are pretty empty. Like we were driving in the tuk-tuk when we went through the airport. I mean through the airport, like the road cut through the runway. And there was no one, not a single plane, no hangar, like no passengers, nothing. And I asked our tuk-tuk driver, are there any planes that come through here? He said, before the crisis, there used to be planes. And that's something I've heard quite a bit in Nicaragua, before the crisis. I like coming here. I think it's a very interesting country, and it makes me feel kind of depressed that it's a place that the tourism industry is just about dead. If you're looking for somewhere where tourists aren't coming anymore, but that's still enjoyable, that you won't be swamped with tourists everywhere you go, Nicaragua should maybe be on your list. So you might be asking why we're wearing these extremely fashionable helmets. It's because safety first, kids. We're going on a scooter ride today.
Oh yeah, we are taking this baby out to Ojo de Agua, Eyes of Water. These beautiful natural swimming pools on Ometepe Island.
All 110 cc's, all us.
Wish us luck!
Don't drop it.
This goes well.
Don't drop the camera. So we have stopped the scooter on the runway of the only airport in Ometepe Island. Since the crisis of last year and the drop in tourism here, there are no more airplanes that land at this airport. So we're literally stopped on the runway. They have a road right through the runway.
It doesn't look quite like an airport. It's more like a landing strip that was. Approaching a blockade. Horse crossing.
Riding through a big farm.
Yeah, we've seen tons of cows and horses, a motorcycle here and there. I think you can guess what the main export is.
Let's go get some volcanoes. Alright, we are now on the dirt path to Ojo de Agua. We gotta go real slow here because we do not want to slide in this dirt.
In case you were curious, here's our ride.
I think we should call him Ojito, like little eye.
Oh, Ojito! He's serving us well. We made it alive! No injuries, scooter's in good condition. We are at Ojo de Agua. It costs $5 US to get in here. It looks like this is probably the most popular thing to do on Ometepe Island. We've seen more people driving into here than we've seen like throughout most of the island.
Yeah, Ometepe is not very touristy right now. Like we said, there's been a real decline in tourism in the last year here in Nicaragua. So it's kind of nice to come somewhere that actually feels like alive and bustling with activity. This is cool.
Oh man, this is ideal.
I love it. So we really love our water endeavors. Maybe you've noticed in the last few videos.
Our favorite thing to do is find a swimming, water-related activity.
It's not quite a natural pool because it's like not like naturally formed, but the waters are actually taken right from a natural water source, and they funneled it into like this beautiful stone pool that was made, it's man-made. It sounded like it hurt. And they made like different levels to it. Like there's like a kiddie pool area. It's a little bit deeper over here. They have a swing you can jump off of. I'm a fan of Ojo de Agua. You should totally come to Ojo de Agua because they'll make it.
And fun fact, Gabe mentioned that the water is taken from a natural spring here on Ometepe Island. Some of the houses and some of the pipes are actually hooked up directly to that natural spring source. So this is one of the only places in Nicaragua where you could potentially drink the sink water. Of course, you have to make sure it's actually hooked up to the spring, but...
And thank God it's not like a hot spring because it's kind of warm out here in Ometepe. Not as hot as it was in the mainland, but like the water temperature is just perfect. Especially if you're scootering around, getting like that dust in your eyes. You come here, it is an oasis.
Super refreshing, very relaxing. Here he goes.
Guys, just check out how clear this water is.
from Ojo de Agua along the northern coast of Ometepe Island into the town of Balgay, and we have reached the end of the paved road.
Yeah, we're not going to go any further. We didn't get like a big motorbike. We have this little puny scooter. It's not gonna go so well on some dusty roads.
No, I don't think you can cross through the whole island. You probably have to have they have 4x4s, ATVs out here as well, because the majority of the island is unpaved.
So we've made it as far as we can go. So we've been riding our scooter around pretty much all day. We had a wonderful swim at Ojo de Agua, but we have not eaten lunch yet, and it's like getting kind of late. So we pulled over at this vegetarian restaurant. This guy walked us down the beach here at Playa Santo Domingo, and it is pretty cool, but check out how rough the surf is, guys.